Hi everyone, welcome to Blue Heron Hill. I'm Sue and we're in the kitchen today. And we are going to talk about garlic. Now this is last year's garlic, 2024. Now let's do a little history. Back in 2023 in the fall, I planted cloves of garlic. As a matter of fact, I think it may have been somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 or 90 cloves of garlic, which then produced 80 or 90 heads of garlic. Last year at about this time, February, I think, and I'll put the link up here in the corner, I did a video on preserving garlic because at that time, my garlic had been down in my storage for 6 months at least. And some of it had started to sprout. I don't see any sprouting in this batch of garlic yet, but there may be. But I have a lot of garlic. I've used up a whole lot, and I want to go over the methods of preserving that I find most beneficial for me. Now, last year's video, I talked about freezing garlic. I talked about dehydrating garlic, and I also talked about preserving garlic in oil. That turned out very well. So last fall, and I didn't make a video of it because I already had one, I did some more cloves of garlic in oil. And this has been in my refrigerator since about, probably October, I think. But today, what I'm going to do, this was full, and I've been using this too, but that oil in there is infused with this garlic. And I've been using a little bit at a time, but I think now is time to decant this oil and put it in a jar for me to use in my everyday cooking, so it will be easier and I don't have to fish it out of a whole jar full of cloves. But I'm not going to throw those cloves away either. I've got something else in mind for further long-term storage of those. And then I have another method that I think might come in handy also. So we've got lots of prep to do. I have to break these all into individual cloves. I have to take the skins off of them. These are hard-necked varieties. There are two varieties of garlic, hard-necked and soft-necked. These are hard right here. My soft neck, I grew some last year, first time in a very long time. I prefer hard neck, although hard neck do not store as long as soft neck. These are soft neck. Most of these heads are very firm. I do see some sprouting on these top ones up here, and we're going to have to do something about those. You can see there are some sprouts coming out of that one. Anyway, soft neck tend to store longer than hard neck. So this is the perfect time before they start sprouting to preserve them even further. So let's get to it. Took all of these cloves off. I still have to take the paper skins off. But I did find a few of these that are sprouting here. But I'm going to still use these. A garlic cloves flavor changes when it starts to sprout. But it doesn't, it's not like it turns bitter or anything. And these are a very small shoot that has started to come out. If it's any bigger, I probably have just thrown them away, but these are tiny. I did come across some cloves that they're still semi-firm, but a little gives to a little bit of pressure. I think these are starting to dry out. So these are just going to go and get composted. I'm not going to bother with those. But I'll keep the ones that are sprouting. Look at these large cloves. This is what I found with hardneck varieties. The cloves are much bigger. You can see with the soft neck, those cloves are much smaller. So there's a plus if you don't like peeling cloves of garlic to get the hardneck variety. In addition, the hardneck variety gives you a scape. In about June, it sends up its flower stalk, which is called a garlic scape. And it is very delicious, a mild garlic flavor. Oftentimes I dry those and powder those up and use them as a, like a garlic powder. I have my jar. Now I didn't use olive oil. I find olive oil has a very strong smell in itself. And I just wanted a very neutral oil. So I'm going to separate all of these out and to save that oil. I'll just let these drip for a while. It's not a whole lot of oil, as you can see. Give me a little bit more if I leave it to drip, and we'll come back to that. In the meantime, I have lots of garlic to take their paper off. So I'll be back. Just a light smash, and the peels seem to separate a little easier. You smash them too hard, you're gonna bruise them. There we go, a nice bowl full of depapered garlic. Oh my gosh, did that take a while. So my oiled garlic has been dripping for quite a while now. And so I think I'm just going to call it, and it looks like I got maybe a cup. So a cute little jar, which I am going to then pour this off into here. Just fits. Does smell very garlicky, but that will be put to very good use in all sorts of cooking methods. I can see it. Oftentimes when I roast a whole chicken, I'll put melted butter and herbs underneath the skin. I think maybe I'm going to try this garlic oil along with some other herbs to go under the skin. That might be a very good use of this. So put this aside, and that was one method. Now I still have all of these to process. So I'm going to get out my food processor right now. But these are all fairly firm, almost just as firm as the fresh ones. But I am just going to process these up into, I think, almost a paste. Okay, that's what it looks like. Not quite a paste, but kind of in a minced form. But it still has a lot of oil in it. So this has got to be stored, not just regularly out on the counter. It must be under refrigeration or in this case, in the freezer. So instead of putting them on my cooking sheet with a piece of parchment, I decided just to put it in my little silicone tray here. And these probably hold a good tablespoon of this oiled garlic. Now I'm going to pop that in the freezer, and when they're all frozen thoroughly through, then I will put this in Ziploc bags and take it out and use it, you know, in all sorts of soups and stews, and even they're ready with oil and everything to fry automatically right in the pan. So now I have my fresh garlic, and I'm going to whirl those up into my blender for another 2 methods of preserving the garlic. So that's pretty good. Just enough to be able to spread on a dehydrator tray. And these I'm gonna dehydrate and then make into powder. Now, a word of caution. I continued to record, but forgot to mention what the word of caution was. And that is, if you dehydrate in your house is going to smell like garlic. So make sure you have a place you can put it where it's not going to be too intrusive. Now, this last batch, I pulverized a little bit more. It's very finely processed. And these are just going to go into little cookies on the sheet here. But these are fresh and without the oil. Here we go, a couple dollops of fresh garlic. These are going to go into the freezer. I'm going to flash freeze them, and then when they're frozen, I'll take them out and put them in a Ziploc bag and be able to use them in this state. So I have 3 different ways that I'm preserving this last year's crop of garlic. Dehydrating some, using the ones that I put in oil and mashed them up into little cubes, plus a bonus of garlic infused oil, and then fresh garlic here. So a few more ways of preserving your garlic crop till you get till next spring, and you can harvest that garlic and start all over again. Well, it's been more than a day. Things got busy, and this is about 2 days later, but it dried probably in about 15 to 20 hours, and now it is ready to whirl up in my little mini processor here into some garlic powder, because this is all that I have left, and you can't cook without garlic. So let's put some in here. Boy, did my basement smell like garlic yesterday or the day before. And pardon the noise. Okay, that took probably about 3 minutes in my processor to make it into a semi-powdery state here. We'll just fill up my jar. I have plenty left to go, and I'll be back when it's all processed. Enough garlic powder to last me at least the year. You can make this into garlic salt if you like garlic salt. I tend, if I need salt in a recipe that I'm adding garlic to, I'll add the salt individually and not mix it with this ingredient. Although when I do make my herb salt, I'll put garlic in with the salt and make a whole herbal mixture. I have a video for that, and I'll link that up in the corner right here. So we have 4 different ways of preserving your garlic harvest from last year. If it's starting to sprout and you need to do something with it to make it last even longer. Dehydrating with powder. This is the garlic that we put in oil and drained off the oil. And then this is fresh little hockey pucks of fresh garlic. So I didn't get as many as I perhaps wanted to. I think I crushed more up into a garlic powder, but that's fine. I have plenty of garlic. I even have the soft neck garlic that I didn't include in this preservation method. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you get some tips from this to preserving your garlic harvest. So until the next time that we can go digging in the dirt or cooking in the kitchen, bye.